Hello and welcome to WashingtonExec's video series. I'm your host, Amanda Ziadeh, and with me today is Dan Gelston. He's the Group President of CAE's Defense and Security Business. Thanks so much for joining me today, Dan.
Hi, Amanda. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So having joined the company in August and considering your experience in the military, intelligence community, and global defense industry, it's great to get your perspective today on the company's current standings, innovations, and defense business as a whole. So I wanted to start by asking, since you are a relatively fresh pair of eyes at CAE, what do you see as CAE's major strengths, especially during this time?
Yeah, well, certainly CAE has a vision for digital immersion, being the world leader in training and simulation, but particularly taking this market into one of that truly virtual AR, augmented reality, digital immersion, full sensory immersion training. And I think now is the time where our market and our customers need that the most. Watched very closely the National Defense Strategy shaping from 2018 on, pivoting our defense forces, both in the US and our allies, from a counterterrorism fight where we're fighting it every day and having real world experience to drive our tactics, techniques, procedures, and the like, to one focused on a near peer threat, a potential threat, a China, a Russia, something more akin to what we were doing 20 plus years ago in the Cold War. And because of that, it necessitates more training. Hopefully, we're not going to be actually fighting China anytime soon, unlike the counterterrorism asymmetric fight that we're doing in the world every single day. So that necessitates training, not only training, but one in a multi-domain environment where it's space, air, sea, ground, wrapped in cyber, all the more necessitating a virtual environment because you can't effectively, both in dollars and in time, train continuously in a truly multi-domain environment where you've got Air Force, Navy, Army, Space Command all together at once. And then lastly, you've got to pay the COVID bill. Somehow, some way, all these countries are going to have to pay that bill. The largest portion of any given country's discretionary budget is always going to be defense. So you've got to imagine that a portion of that bill will be coming out of defense budgets. So if you can't train with live rounds and real machinery, what do? You move into the simulators to do that training in a multi-domain environment. So I think our customers really need it. The mission really needs it. Still got a lot of brethren in uniform, former Army myself. Those folks need it every day. And I think that aligns perfectly with what CAE's capabilities are as the world leader in this digital immersion training environment can provide. And I'm excited to join and lead the team at this time.
Yeah. Speaking of COVID and the fact that we're here doing a virtual interview is just another indicator that we're still, dealing with the persistent global COVID-19 pandemic and its challenges. So how is the pandemic impacting CAE's defense business for meeting customers' current requirements for training services and products? And what current changes might persist in the future?
Yeah, I really think it's accelerated a trend that we started seeing a couple of years ago. Mark Perrant had a vision for this digital immersion, this world technology leader in that realm, and started $1 billion campaign in research and development for us to become that leader. We saw it coming. Man, it's really hit us hard, the customers hard with COVID. An example would be we do training for F-15, F-16, and F-22 fighter pilots, the early portion of their training. Well, during COVID, these students are coming in and have to be quarantined. They're sitting in their BOQs in hotel rooms. Normally, that would be idle time. And of course, the training can't stop. We still need our fighter pilots to be ready. What do? We're taking these solutions, these virtual solutions, and bringing them because they are more portable, because they are cheaper. We can bring them to the students. So we've actually had these virtual CBTs, we're calling them, and we transport them with an iPad connected to the cloud to let those students start training day one, even though they're stuck in a hotel room for 2 weeks. So that trend that we were working on already with our Air Force partners, our Army partners and the like, has really accelerated. And I don't see a huge change there. I think this is a sea change that happened quicker because of COVID, but it's probably here to stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like it could be useful regardless. Right. All right. So kind of looking into the future, we know CAE to be a training integrator, like you've been explaining. What's next for CAE in the next couple of years beyond its traditional military training focus?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are traditionally defense and security, a lot more defense than security. So one piece I want to add S to the DNS. The security part, we're actually going after a very large opportunity with DHS here in the United States, about a $800 million opportunity here in the next few months. So excited about that. But on the defense side, there's much more domains than we currently have traditional strength in. So certainly we're known for the air tier. I'm a little biased, but I would say we certainly are the world leaders there. Strength in sea, strength in ground. But when I look going forward, and of course you add cyber and space domains, that's an area where I'm really excited to grow. I think we're working with Space Command as they put together their requirements, and we help them from a training expertise on how we can help them get from here to there. And then I think about cyber, and cyber certainly it wraps around all the domains. We're all going to be concerned about cyber, whether you're a defense customer, a security customer, or a commercial customer. So that's an area I'd really like to strengthen on. We do a lot of cyber on our platform level for cyber defense, but boost our cyber training capability and go after more opportunities there, whether it be through teaming, potentially merger and acquisition activity, something to that effect. I really want to make sure that we get to strengthen the other domains, namely cyber, as we traditionally have had in the air tier.
And any emerging technologies that you're looking forward to about the future that excites you?
Absolutely. I mean, AI, I'm sure you're hearing this quite a bit, but that is driving. So with the Defense Innovation Unit, we're a key part of revising the Air Force's training for all its pilots. And the specific portion that we have, which I think is the jewel, is the learning management system. And going from a time-based, phased approach to a learning management system that's less schedule-based and much more adaptive to the specific strengths and weaknesses of that student. If they're strong, go ahead and accelerate them. An area they're having troubles, let's do some more work. So that AI-based engine, it does exactly that. It's an adaptive solution that works constantly with that individual trainee and their specific strengths and weaknesses to make sure they're the best trained pilot that the United States or our allies can possibly have by the end of their specific training phase. But AI and machine learning really is driving all of that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Sam. It's been great catching up with you. We look forward to following CAE's growth and the evolution of military training. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.